Hello, hello, hello. Figured I'd change it up. We got Huss with the cool Irish hat. I love it, man.
I'm with my. I'm with the Wolfpack.
Sick shirt, sick shirt, sick hat. What's up, everyone? PFC 217. We're talking Premier League fantasy talk for you from Matchday 18 coming right up. I got our resident expert Hussy with us. What's going on, Huss?
Not too much. Just the captains. The captains are killing me every single week. I have not. I don't think I've picked a good captain. Maybe once this year I picked one good captain.
Dude, and that's the difference maker in fantasy, unfortunately, is that captain. If you can get your captain right most of the time, that extra, 6 points, sometimes 8 points, sometimes 12 points gets you climbing so high in the ranks. I don't think I've had my captain right more than twice this year either, man. Struggling.
The best I saw was last year when Big Neil, he had Alexis Sanchez triple captain, and I think he got like 62 points or something.
Yeah, I remember that. He hit big on that one. But speaking of high scoring, this week's top scorer or last week's top scorer, Wayne's winners, Wayne Powell. That's my friend, Huss. That's the South African guy you thought you were asking me about a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Wayne Powell, went to high school with him for a couple years before I came over to the States. But he got 33 no, not 33 points. 76 points.
Wasn't that your score?
I wish it was my score.
It was that bad?
Yeah, man. It was an ugly week for me. But he got himself a fat 76 points, sitting 896 overall. So he's the top scorer for Matchday 17 fantasy. You want to get into the top 5, Huss?
Yeah, let's do that. So we have Alter Reality with Sachet.
Oh boy.
Tuladar.
Close enough.
I don't know. Well, how about you just message me, or message us rather, on how to say your name, because I struggled. You got 45 points this week. You had 951 overall. That's our leader of the pack right now. The leader of the wolf pack right now. Then second, we have No Poops Given. He's got 62 points on the game week, 938 total. Moving up to third place, we got Kevlar Ravens, Marty McFly. He's always been at the top, within like the top 10 this whole year for the most part. He got 57 points game week, 935 points total. Fourth place, yours truly, Bingo Bango, 68 points on the game week. I'm pissed because I picked Salah. Oh my God, Al kept talking about how, you picked Salah last week, and then I went with the head pick rather than the gut pick, because my gut pick said go for City players, and every single one of my City players, De Bruyne, Silva, and Sterling, got more points than Salah. That's the last time I used my head. I started using this gut. So I got 934 points on the total. And then last but not least, obviously, because you're in fifth place, Kidney Pool FC, Luke,
oh boy.
Vischer, Visscher.
The Fisher.
The Fisher, yeah, okay, that's what I was saying. 53 points game week, 923 points total.
Damn. All right, let's get into the top 4 for the PFC host. Hussy, obviously sitting on top, fourth place overall. 68 points, 934 on the week. Got Alan, 28th place, 58 points on the week, 847 overall. My Tom in 58th place with 59 points this match week, 792 overall. And myself, Dragon. I've been talking smack all year. 76th place on the slide, dude. I'm heading down to those relegation spots. 28 points on the match day and 744 overall, man. It's ugly. It's absolutely ugly. But luckily we got our expert Huss, who's absolutely killing it this year. Let's get into
well, all your eggs are in the basket with Burnley.
Yeah, man. Look, it worked for a week. If these guys played, man, that's the fucking problem. That these guys, me was a game time decision. I gambled on him. I was like, all right, he's gonna play. Ward gets hurt in the 41st minute, which means he doesn't get clean sheet credit. So I only get Tarkowski. It should have been clean sheet across that back line, bro. 8 points all the way through. But fantasy is not a game of ifs. It's not a game of ifs. Doesn't matter what should have happened if this happened. Bottom line is I got 28 points on the match week, man, and I got to sit with that and figure it out next for the next week. Let's get into the overall results for last week. Huss, buy, keep, sell, risks. How we do?
So this was a pretty good week for us. The buys, we got 22 points total. The keeps, which was the shining star, we got 28 points. The sells got 8 points. That's pretty much the lowest. That's basically the maximum that I want to get on the sells, because that basically means they played and that's it. They got the 2 points and that's it. So they got 8 points. And then the risk, we got 12 points. So,
Nice.
yeah, the buys and the keeps were good.
Cool, man. So favorable matchups for match day 18. How we looking?
All right, let's get into that. Favorable. I got Leicester versus Palace. Leicester, I mean, Mahrez, we'll get into him later. But, I mean, that team, they're just like sneaky good on offense, because even when you think that they're struggling, they still seem to put the ball in the net. Next, we got Arsenal versus Newcastle. We've got Arsenal, who's playing okay. And then you got Newcastle, who's just, well, they're crap right now. We're looking at Old Castle. Chelsea versus Southampton. City versus Spurs. I know City versus Spurs is a tricky one for favorable, but it just seems like City just kills everybody. Spurs hasn't really been on fire. The only person that's really been playing up to their potential is Son. Harry Kane is off and on. Eriksen's been slowing down a bit. Dele Alli, no one can find him. They don't even know if he's in London anymore. He should. They know where his body is. They just don't know where the actual Dele Alli. It's almost like Space Jam when the aliens come down and they take the bodies, or like the skill of the of the players. We should have a Space Jam 11.
I like that.
And then Toby is out for Tottenham. So if City get a quick goal, I think this game can turn ugly.
Cool.
West Brom versus United. I mean, West Brom's been crap. United has been playing pretty well. Bournemouth versus Liverpool. This is hope for me. This is hope that Liverpool get back to scoring 4 goals a game. And then Everton versus Swansea. Everton's just been basically turning it around. So I believe there'll be some goals in that game.
Dude, lots of favorable matchups, man. I think we got, what, 7 out of 10? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Be a big fantasy weekend.
Yes, and then unfavorable, we got Brighton versus Burnley. I don't see many goals happening in that. I think that's going to be like a 1-0 game, maybe 2-0 game. I'm thinking Burnley, because Burnley's just been on fire lately. Stoke versus West Ham. And then Watford versus Huddersfield.
Cool. All right, man. I love it. There you go. You got your favorables, your unfavorables. Let's get into the buy, keep, sell risks for this match day 18 Premier League.
So 2 of my buys that we have on this list, I actually picked up last week, but I still believe that you should pick them up. Starting out with the buy for goalkeepers is David De Gea. He's priced at 5.8. He's owned by 43.4% of the game. Look, when it comes down to it, it's very simple. So for United, you have West Brom, Leicester, Burnley, Southampton, Everton, Stoke, Burnley. And 3 of those games are at home. They seem to be not so much unstoppable at home, but, well, City proved that. But at the same time, they've been playing very well there. And it's just one of those things. When Pogba comes back, I don't see United losing to any of those teams.
Cool.
I see a lot of clean sheets. Keep Kasper Schmeichel. Priced at 5, owned by 4.4% of the game. All right. So this is a bit of a stretch. Who are they playing? They're playing Palace at home. and then you got United, Watford, Liverpool. So that's why he's a keep. He's not a sell yet. Next match day, he's a sell. But for now, he's playing Palace at home. And not only that, if we get into it real quick, he has like a pattern going on. So it's a 5, then 3. So his first clean sheet came week 2, and then his next clean sheet came in week 7. After that was week 10, and then 15. So basically, it's 5, 3, 5. And now we're in week 15. He didn't get one in 16, 17. So I'm hoping that he gets a clean sheet next week, which would keep up the 5, 3, 5, 3.
Nice. I like it.
I know that's a stretch. I know that's a long way to explain it. But you know what? That's a gut pick.
Hey, man, that's a theory. Yeah, you got a gut theory. I love it.
Selling Darlow. I mean, Newcastle. I mean, Elliott's not playing anymore. This guy's come in. Since he's come in, he's given up 9 goals in 4 matches. He's priced at 4.4, owned by 0.2% of the game. So everyone's got that one right. But this guy, whoever has him, get rid of him.
Yeah, he's garbage.
Risk pick. We got Adrian. We talked about him during the midweek when we talked about the actual games. Look, he's given up 2 goals in the last 3. And he's played City, Chelsea, Arsenal. He's given up 2. Yeah, he gave up 2 to City, that late winner. So it very well could have been a 2 draws and a win. But then he didn't give up any versus Chelsea and Arsenal. So I don't know what Adrian's doing. I don't know what David Moyes is doing. Honestly, I don't think anybody does. But it seems to be working.
Yep.
Moving on to defenders. We got Mariappa. Look, I picked this guy up. He's done nothing for me so far, really. Let's check. I'm gonna check to see if he actually has got me any points. Well, no, he got me 1 point, and then he got me 2 points. But at the same time, Watford is taking on Huddersfield at home. Huddersfield isn't the most dangerous offensively. Then he got Brighton away, Leicester home, Swansea home. They aren't. Yeah. Well, Leicester is going to be tough. All the games are going to be tough. They can be scored upon, but these aren't too bad of a draw for them. And plus, Mariappa, he's a starter, and the main part is his price is at 4.1, and he's owned by 6.2% of the game. But 4.1 is the magic number right there.
There it is. Sneaky buy.
Keeping James Tarkowski of Burnley. Look, you know what? You got to keep him for one more. Burnley's taking on Brighton away. Then it goes to Spurs, United. Then it's Huddersfield, then Liverpool. And then Palace and United, then Newcastle, then City. So after Spurs United, it's like every other week is a top team. So yep. Burnley, I think they're going to get a reality check real quick.
Yeah, and they got a bunch of injuries in that back line. I think Ben Mee should be available this weekend back in the squad. Who else went down? What's his name? Ward went down.
He's 75% chance.
Yeah, they said it wasn't too serious, so he should be able to play. But again, man, it's getting shaky back there, and we're only halfway through the season, so they might be overdue like some goals against.
Yeah, and you know what? Sean Dyche came out saying that basically, paraphrasing, that he doesn't want Burnley to get too excited at the moment. Basically, that he's not saying that they are there to stay at the moment. And you know what? That's a good attitude I think he should bring to Burnley. Like, take it one game at a time, because this stretch in the next 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 match weeks, they very well could be out of the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's season defining. After 9 match weeks, you know, you're already on the wind down from the season. So this stretch, that's why the December period in the EPL is so important, because you play so many games in such a short space of time that you can make or break a season. All City needs to do is drop 6 points in this window, and all of a sudden everyone's talking about the race being open. Now, will they do it? Probably not, but it's still very tight.
Yeah, and you know what? This is the first time I've actually encountered this. Priced at 4.7, owned by 4.7.
Love it.
Yeah, and then a little sneaky pick, Kevin Long of Burnley, 3.9. priced. He started the last 2 matches, and he's accumulated 15 points.
Yeah, he's good, man. But careful with him because you got me coming back as well. Bardsley, I think, has been deputizing as well. So just play smart with Long.
Selling, Charlie Daniels. I mean, for the last few years, he's been a favorite of mine. Not this year so much, but the other few years, he's been a sneaky pickup. He's been getting a few goals, get assists. I mean, Burnley, how can you hate them? He's priced at 5, and he's owned by 11.7%. But the thing is, he has City, Liverpool, West Ham, Everton. City and Liverpool obviously you have to be more afraid of. But when it comes down to it, after that, West Ham and then Everton. Those 2 teams have really been turning around. So you got to watch out for those teams. So this could be 4 very hard matchups.
Yeah, I agree.
Risk, we got Jeff Cameron, the US of A player. He's just come back from his injury. He got 15 minutes 2 games ago. He got the full game or so last game. When it comes down to it, West Ham, let's talk about them real quick, has scored 3 goals in the last 3 matches. So they haven't been outrageously potent on offense. So I think Stoke has a chance to get a clean sheet. But the big thing is 4.3, and he's owned by 0.3% of the game. So if you can hit with this guy, only get a few points, or it won't be a full point. It'd be like 0.1, 0.2 on his price. But the thing is, no one else is going to have him.
I like that. Sneaky pick.
Midfielders. Come one, come all. We got Eden Hazard. We brought him up before. His price keeps going up. He's 10.9 now from 10.5. And I did a little bit more research into this because he has only scored over 3 points, I think, 4 times, maybe 5 times this season. And I wondered how he was able to go up so much back when I talked about Gabby Jesus and Morata.
Yep.
And it has to be down to the amount of people who own these players, because I've looked at his stats and he keeps going up every week because he keeps being bought by more people each week. Now, he's only scored in 3 games. So that's the thing where he's what does he have? He has 5 goals on the year. I'd have to double check that. But when it comes down to it, he has 2 goals, and then 2 goals, and then 1 goal. So it's not like he's doing anything too crazy.
Look,
so
if you're watching, I have Hazard, and I've had him for his up and down, the last couple of weeks. If you're watching him play, the old Hazard is right around the corner. And I think that's what's catching everyone. It's like you seeing Hazard with the fancy flicks the other day when he got the assist, hockey assist. He flicked it to Willian, who then laid it off to Bakayoko, who finished against, Huddersfield the other day. So it's there, man. And even during that game, he should have 2 or 3 assists if Pedro wasn't cowish, if Moses wasn't cowish. So I love that shout of buy this guy before he's 11.5. Keep a close eye on him, but Chelsea has a friendly stretch of games. A little insider secret: Chelsea's basically schedule is free until the end of January. Obviously there'll be the odd team thrown in here and there, but for the most part, between now and January, end of January, they're going to have a very, very friendly schedule, which gives Hazard his chance to sort of flourish. There's no Champions League either in between now and then. Obviously, FA Cup starts soon, and that'll cause some games midweek. But for the most part, Chelsea, Hazard, keep your eye on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you. The schedule for him is very good. The only time I would not have him is between February 24th and March 31st.
Exactly, dude. Chelsea's schedule is crazy good.
Yeah, because you only have Arsenal in there. I mean, I wouldn't say only because of this league right now, because Everton could steal some points. I mean, Southampton, Watford. But at the same time, we're just going with top 6 teams, the actual high percentage chance of Chelsea dropping points. But you got pretty much only Arsenal until February 10th. And then you have a stretch of United, City, Palace, Burnley, Spurs. Then after that, you have starting April 7th, you pretty much have a clear schedule besides Liverpool.
Yeah, man. Very friendly schedule for Chelsea.
So I mean, it makes sense to buy him. There's no reason not to buy this guy unless if you can't swing it or if you have all the money taken up by City players.
Cool.
Keeping Mahrez, Leicester's king. This guy,
Boy.
priced at 8.5, owned by 7.3%. He has 3 goals and assists in the last 4. That blonde hair must be working for him.
It is, man. Tom's theory. He's calling all kinds of attention to his play right now, and he's scoring goals he shouldn't, which is an old Mahrez habit he had. So it's good to see him back.
You know what? This is a player that is just fun to watch. We saw it this past week or this midweek when I made the joke about how Okazaki just got his easiest assist because he gave the ball to Mahrez in their half, and then Mahrez goes up the field, slips, gets up, starts dribbling some more, dribbles for a few more times, and then shoots the ball and scores. Potential to being
was impressive.
Yeah, he definitely has the potential to be on the top tier team. It's just, is he going to get his shot?
Yeah, I think he will. If he continues this year, I think he will next year. I don't know if he'll be in the EPL, but I think he will.
I don't know why Arsenal doesn't throw some cash at this guy.
They should have. They should have last summer. He would have gone for cheap too. Although he wasn't available. He would have gone for cheaper, I should say, not cheap. Cheaper.
Yeah, but I mean, they could probably still get this guy probably for 35.
I think Leicester's going to want more. He's probably worth 35. Leicester's probably going to want closer to 50, would be my guess.
You think Mahrez is going to go for 50 million?
Yeah, if he has the stats, man. If he has the stats to back it. He could have gone for 50 the year they won. You know, he was in that neighborhood, 50, 60. Then he had a dip year, and he looks like this year it's his recovery year. So, yeah, man, I don't think he's worth 50. But, yeah, I think someone could come in and drop 50 on Mahrez. If he's scoring his left foot goals going away from goal, you know what I mean? He has to cut the ball back, and he's generating that power and scoring over goalies. Bro, that's special goals, man. Like, AC Milan could come in and just drop for Mahrez. You know, so Monaco, they're in a rebuilding phase. Lyon's looking to make some noise. There are plenty of teams that would come for him. I don't know if an EPL team would, though.
Yeah, the schedule is Crystal Palace at home. Besides that, right after this game, you got United, Watford, Liverpool, Huddersfield, Chelsea, then Watford again, and then Everton. So this is probably the last time I would have Mahrez until probably February 24th, because then for the rest of the season, they got Arsenal on March 17th, and then the very last game is Spurs. So for a while there, from February 24th to May 5th, that's a good time to pick up Mahrez, and he'll hopefully be playing for something, maybe Europe for Leicester, or just be playing for another contract, or with another team, rather.
Absolutely.
And then not only that, but he had, 3 assists right at the beginning of the season. Then he went for basically a vacation. And then he scored or assisted in 4 matches, took 2 games off, and then scored or assisted in 4 matches. So hopefully he doesn't keep the trend right now. Hopefully he bucks it, because if he doesn't, he's not going to get anything this coming match.
Yeah, well, at least the games are coming thick and fast, so there's no time to sort of sulk about what you did last week. You know, if you have a game in 3 weeks, you got to have a short-term memory and keep it going. So I think it'll be good.
Speaking of Dele Alli, oh my God.
When do we speak of Dele Alli? What a weird
right at the very beginning. Right at the very beginning.
What a force. Just jammed it in there. Why did you just say Dele Alli? I love it. Oh, that's great. Speaking of Dele Alli. That's the
Well, if you can cut this correctly, you can speak Dele Alli.
All right, I'll fix it.
Speaking of Dele Alli,
I'll post edit. Yep, I'm all over it.
So I got him as the sell for the midfield. He's priced at 9.1, owned by 12.9%. Look, he only has 3 goals, 4 assists on the year. Hell, he may not even start in this game. He didn't start last game, so maybe they're arresting him. I have no idea. Nobody seems to know what his problem is. Maybe it could be the big. He could have a little bit of a Coutinho issue where big teams. Maybe he's thinking of Real Madrid, or maybe it's all the media going after his attitude. Maybe he's just mentally tired, or maybe it's the fact that in the last couple of years, his stardom has gone so high, it could be in his head. Or he's been playing so well in the last couple of years, is that the amount of playing has gone up. Because a few years ago when he was on MK Dons and Dons, not Dongs, that's weird.
I thought you said that, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna project. MK Dongs. Mind that. Jeez.
MK Dons.
So short. You got something to take care of. Speaking of MK Dongs. Oh, that's great. That's so great.
So the point that I was trying to make was that the amount of games, the amount of minutes has increased by so much in the last couple of years. He could just be physically tired.
Yeah, that's a possibility, man. And it's simple fact is he's a kid. Same thing happened with Lukaku a few seasons ago when he took naps. It happens, man. This is part of development. We always forget, because these kids come out so hot. Like Rashford is overdue a dip. You hope it doesn't come, but like if he dipped for a season or half a season, understandable as long as he doesn't make a habit of that. So Dele Alli doing this, I'm not too surprised, not too concerned. I know I posed the question of whether he's slipping towards a suspect list, but he's a kid, so for me, he doesn't. But I'm looking at last year's stats here, and man, he was very quiet for the beginning of the season. Not many goals. Let me see. Through December, he had 3 goals last year. Gang of assists, but 3 goals. So it sounds like par for the course with Dele Alli. After that, he started to explode, right around this January Christmas period, December Christmas period. So he's due. He's due. When these games come thick and fast, it seems like he's finally found his rhythm. So it is a lot of money to risk on him. So I wouldn't necessarily say jump on Ali. I agree with you, Huss, for this week, sell him. But keep an eye on this kid. Keep him on your watch list because he's overdue to pop.
Well, if you want more reasons to sell him, we got City, and then they got Burnley, both away. And then you got Southampton home, but then they don't play for game week 21. Right after that, if you want to buy him, that's cool because they're playing West Ham and then Swansea and then Everton, Southampton, and then they got United. Oh, never mind about that. But they got 4 games, and then they also have 2 games on match week 22, which would be West Ham and Swansea.
Yeah, he's good right around the Christmas period. He went 3 games in a row between January 1st and January 8th, scoring 2 goals a game. 3 games in a row, 2 goals a game. That's 6 goals in 3 games in January, from January 1st to January 8th. So this is his time. Around this time, keep an eye on him. Sell him for this week because it's a lot of money. Rather spend that on guys like Mahrez, who seem to be hot right now, or the midfielders, maybe a City midfielder if he can swing it. But don't write this kid off yet.
Well, I mean, if he does actually keep to what you say on the January 1st to January 8th, well, Swansea, the first of the 2 of match week 22, is January 2nd.
Boom. What a way to kick off that run for him. So, yeah, keep an eye on this kid. But, yes, for now, he's cold as ice, man.
Risking. I'm going with Richarlison. This guy for Watford has been outstanding. When it comes down to it, he gets the goals, but he also is a playmaker. He has some silk to him. He's not afraid to pass the ball. You see sometimes on a team when they might be struggling a little bit, they might try to do too much. This guy is just delivering the ball right by the 6-yard box. We saw Troy Deeney mess it up. He got the other assist. This guy is a playmaker. The only reason why, he's priced at 6.6, which is very low. And then also he's owned by 19.8% of the game. The only reason why he's a risk for me is the fact that he may not play because of the groin injury.
Yeah. Yep. Came off injured in the game against Crystal Palace. Keep an eye on that. But yeah, it's a risk pick if he's healthy for that price. It seems like a no-brainer.
Now, at the beginning of the predictions, I was telling you how I picked up 2 players last week. One of them was De Gea. The other one, who I still think is a buy, even though you may have missed out on 1 week, is Lukaku.
So we're talking forwards.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Strikers.
Tell me why.
He's priced at 11.3, owned by 32.8% of the game. Look, he started with 7 goals in 7 matches. Then he went 2 goals in 10 matches. He just scored. Before that, he was 1 goal in 9 matches. If you look at the schedule, you got West Brom. Oh, well, I already went through it with De Gea. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches. One of them against the Spurs really looks hard. Oh, they got Burnley away. Burnley home. I would say 2 of those matches out of the 10 look difficult.
Tricky, yeah.
So, I mean, they have Burnley at home, so, but it's not the same. United's not the same team when they're at home. So, I just think that Lukaku, especially when Pogba comes back, the goals, the assists, everything is going to start changing back to where it was.
Cool. I love it.
Keeping Mr. Lacazette of Arsenal.
Huss. Please explain to me why I should keep this bum Gardner.
See, it's not even about him. I feel bad for him because with Arsenal there, you never know when he's going to play. And I think he doesn't even know when he's going to play.
Yep, I agree.
But at the same time, he's still only priced at 10.3, owned by 10.4% of the game. I really think you shouldn't give up on this guy because they got Newcastle, but then they got Liverpool at home, and you never know with Liverpool's defense. But then you got Palace, West Brom. After Chelsea, you got Bournemouth, Palace, Swansea, Everton, Spurs. So that's 1, 2, 3 matches out of the next 10, and then even Liverpool, he might score against them. So it could be 8 out of the next 10 matches that could be favorable for this guy to score.
Cool.
Selling. I don't want to sell him. I don't, but you gotta. My goodness. And it stinks because he didn't play all the first half of the season, if not more. Charlie Austin.
Because boy, Chuck Austin getting sold already. Why, Huss?
Look, I mean, it's just the schedule. He's priced at 6.2, owned by 4.6% of the game. But if you look at it, I mean, you got what, 21 minutes against Swansea, you got 10 minutes and a goal versus the West Ham in the second week. I mean, all the good teams, Crystal Palace when they were doing horrible. Newcastle, he's getting 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 4 minutes, 9 minutes against West Brom, 0 minutes versus Brighton. It just infuriates me when managers do not believe in this type of player. He got 2 goals versus Everton, 1 goal versus Bournemouth, 1 goal versus Arsenal. So he can score. Those were 3 out of the 4 times he's played over 35 minutes in a game this year. He has scored.
Wow, that's impressive, man.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
Why are we selling him?
So they're selling him because you got Chelsea away, Huddersfield at home. I could see him scoring, but at the same time that would be tough because Huddersfield has been doing good. Then you got Spurs away, Manchester United away. But that's when you pick him back up. When you got Palace, Watford, Spurs will be tough, so you can sit him, but he's really cheap, so that's okay. You got Brighton, West Brom, then Liverpool. I'd probably sell him at Liverpool. I have to check the date on that one. Yeah, I'd probably keep him from January 2nd to February 3rd. And even if you want to sit him for Liverpool, you could keep him all the way to March 31st. But this guy, he's sneaky. I mean, he's a great player for a Southampton team or an Everton or Burnley right now. He would be great with those type of teams.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a workhorse. He does all the little things.
He just needs supply, yeah.
Exactly. He does a lot of stuff above average. He's not great at anything except for just giving his all. You know what I mean? But he'll find his way.
He wouldn't be bad at West Ham. You know, obviously West Ham is Arnautovic, but Arnautovic is not a true number 9. They have what's his name? Carroll, who's always in and out of the squad. Having Charlie Austin, a workhorse like that, not a bad shout.
And look, I mean, when he came into Southampton, Shane Long was the starting striker. Beat him out for the job. Then they buy Gabby. Take a seat, Charlie. Gabby starts doing nothing. They put Charlie back on. And he won the position over him now. If Southampton actually goes out and buys a striker to go over Charlie Austin one more time, I think Charlie Austin should just stand up and say, sell me. Just sell me, because this is crap. Anyone that you put in front of me, I've been better than them.
Yeah, I agree.
Hell, I'll do it for him. All right, risk. We got Wayne Rooney. He's interesting. Look, he's priced at 7.4, owned by 15.6% of the game. 6 out of the 9 goals were meaningful. For people who've listened to the show for the years that we've done it, you've heard me say about meaningful goals before. What I mean by meaningful goals is meaningful. There was he got a goal versus Arsenal when they're losing 5-1 or so, or they lost 5-2. Yeah. That's not a meaningful goal. But out of those 9 goals, 6 of them brought them either a win or a draw. And not only that, I'm not counting the 2 other goals that he had at West Ham. It could be considered 9 goals, or probably 7 goals, because I'd say 2 of the 3 goals at West Ham were meaningful because he didn't just get the lead, but he secured the lead.
Cool.
And then, he had 3 penalties. Well, 2 he scored on, 1, West Ham deflected, but he put in right after that. So it is what it is with the 3 goals with West Ham, but he still delivers. So it's just another reason to buy Wayne Rooney, because he's on free kicks, he's on penalty duty, and Everton has Swansea at home. After Chelsea, you got West Brom away, Bournemouth away. After that, I would sell him because they get United, Spurs, West Brom, Leicester, Arsenal. But he's intriguing because Everton's doing really well right now, and he's found some form.
Yeah, man, it's a risky one. It's a risky one. I don't know if I'd have the cojones to go for it, but you're making good points, man.
Yeah, and you know what? That just gives more reason why Sandro Ramirez should leave. He should go to West Ham.
Leave Sandro alone, dude. Let's get Sandro in the game.
No, that's what I want. I'm the one that believed in him. I'm the one that said he should be starting over everybody. I know he had some but yeah, you know what? Real quick, let's go after Sandro. Let's see how many minutes he has. He doesn't even have minutes in this league. He's probably like 240 points. 240 minutes probably in this league so far.
Yeah, I think he played early, but not much since then, man. I don't even think he started.
In the first 5 matches, he played 76, 0, 62, 45, 24. It just consistently kept dropping, and he had no faith. And then he had 8 minutes to week 7, and then so basically he had 229 minutes played in 17 weeks. That's crap.
Yeah, he's got to either break in or find a new home in the summer.
Find a new home.
Cool.
So captains. We just on that one. Man, this one's a hard one.
Yeah.
I kind of want to. I want to say Lukaku, but you got Southampton, who just got pummeled, and Chelsea's at home. I think I'm going with Hazard.
How dare you? I think this is the first week ever we both got the same guy. I'm Hazard, dude. I watched him play that game midweek. Flicks are on, his tail is up. I'm just hoping Conte doesn't get in his own way and bench either Pedro or Willian. He needs to play those 3 together. I know Morata's your sweetheart, and I know Morata's good, but man, you lose a lot of dynamicism when you don't play Pedro and Willian together. You know, I understand last year there were subs for each other. Pedro started, Willian sat. If Willian started, Pedro sat, and it worked well last year. But this is a different year, man. You need more potency in that offense. It's very stagnant, and you can't have Cesc Fabregas trying to pull strings from his own half. He's a deep-lying playmaker. Give it to Hazard to move around. Give it to Willian. Give it to Pedro. Now all of a sudden you got all these fast movements. Sure, crosses might not work as effectively. Might not win many balls in the air. Keep it on the ground, man. You got 3 speedsters. If those 3 start, Hazard is going to ball out.
You know, it's looking like that because Morata is still listed as 50% because of his back injury. So I don't see him playing at all. I don't see him playing for probably, so after this week, maybe against Everton, which is the 23rd, but I could really see him playing the 26th versus Brighton.
Yeah, that's a little over a week from now, just to give you guys an idea of how many games. They're going to be 40 games in 14 days. That's absolutely insane. That's 4 match days in 14 days. So each team is going to play 4 games in 2 weeks. Are you kidding me? I love the EPL. This is great.
I mean, you know what? It's horrible for the Champions League draws because the players will be tired. But this is why the EPL gets the money. This is why they have the TV rights that are breaking records, because it's exciting.
Yeah, I love it. Cool, man. So that wraps it up for our fantasy talk. Thank you for tuning in. As always, if you have questions, hit us up. We'll give you the best advice possible. Please rate us on iTunes. A little Christmas present for us. It goes a long way, especially pleasing our network and our sponsors and all that good stuff. So we really appreciate you guys giving us those friendly reviews. Tell everyone about the show. Tell your mama. As always, Huss, anything else?
Seriously, if you have any questions at all, just hit us up. There's no reason to even hesitate, because if you get us with a comment, we're hitting you right back. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Facebook is on all our phones. We'll do our best to give you the proper answer as quickly as possible.
Cool. That's it, guys. See you soon. Peace.